In the narrow, shadowed alleys of Karachi, where sunlight seemed too tired to reach the ground, lived a girl named Maheen. Her home was a crumbling rooftop shelter with fading walls, and her life was just as cracked. Her mother had passed away when Maheen was only 6, and from that day on, the world had never felt warm again. Her father, Akbar, once a quiet and broken man, had surrendered himself to drugs and gambling. Every night, he would return home either intoxicated or empty-handed, often both. Piece by piece, he sold everything in the house, first the fan, then the radio, later even Maheen's childhood toys. Silence had become her language, and survival her only skill. Maheen was now 17. Youth had begun to blossom on her face, but her eyes carried the burden of a lifetime. One evening, Akbar stumbled in after a night of heavy gambling and losing streaks. There was something unsettling in the way he sat on the broken chair, his eyes hollow but focused. "Maheen," he slurred, "I've fixed everything. We'll be fine now. But you need to go with someone." Maheen froze. "What do you mean? Go where?" "With Inayat Khan," he said casually, like he was trading cattle. "He's rich. He'll take care of you." Her heart pounded, and fear ran through her like fire. Inayat Khan was a 60-year-old known gambler, a man with cruel eyes and disgusting desires. "I'm your daughter," she cried. "You can't sell me." But Akbar had already sold his soul long ago and tonight. He sold his daughter to Dot in another part of the city. Ayaz Shah was driving aimlessly. He was the heir to one of the wealthiest families in the country, living in a world of glass towers and fine suits, but loneliness clung to him like a second skin. His parents were estranged, and despite the luxury around him, nothing filled the silence in his heart. As he turned into an unfamiliar street, he heard a scream. Slamming the brakes, he jumped out of his car and saw a scene that would change everything. A middle-aged man was dragging a crying girl by her wrist. She screamed again. "Let me go. I'm not your property." Ayaz's instincts kicked in. "What are you doing to her?" he demanded. Inayat Khan scoffed. "It's none of your business. This girl is part of a deal. She belongs to me." Ayaz grabbed his collar, fury boiling in his veins. "She belongs to no one. She's not a thing. She's a person." Within moments, he called the police. The old man was forced to flee, and Maheen, trembling and scared, was safe for the first time in her life. Ayaz gently offered her comfort. "You're safe now. I promise no one will hurt you again." From that night on, Maheen's life began to shift. Ayaz didn't just rescue her, he gave her dignity. He arranged for her legal protection, enrolled her in counseling, and offered her a place to live that didn't smell of fear. She barely spoke at first, her trauma wrapped tightly around her soul. But with time, Ayaz's quiet care began to warm her heart. Maheen started studying again. She began designing clothes and opened a small online store. The girl who once begged her father for mercy was now learning to stand tall. Ayaz would visit her cafe every evening, never pushing her, never expecting anything. He'd just smile, sit quietly, and watch her work. And Maheen, who once cried herself to sleep, now found comfort in his silent presence. Months passed. One evening by the sea, under a sky brushed with orange and pink, Ayaz took her hand. His voice trembled, but his eyes didn't. "Maheen," he said, "you didn't just come into my life. You brought light into it. I didn't save you. You saved me. Will you be the heart of my home forever?" Tears welled in her eyes. "Ayaz, you gave me respect, freedom, and a new beginning. If I can be your light, I'll never ask for anything else." That day, 2 broken hearts became whole. They married in a simple ceremony filled with genuine smiles and silent prayers. In their new home, there were no dark corners, only laughter, shared dreams, and soft morning light on white curtains. Ayaz no longer wandered lonely streets, and Maheen no longer feared nightfall. Together, they rewrote their destiny, not as victims of pain, but as partners in hope. And so, what began in the shadows ended in the brightest sunrise.